Welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Astros. Find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Alrighty, so this show is not going to be as positive as yesterday was, but we'll be definitely addressing the ever-evolving Jake Odorrizi saga as the world turns, so to speak, and we'll be definitely addressing this, and we'll be talking about what happened in today's game because we had two players hit home runs in back-to-back games, and these are players that have not hit home runs in quite a while, so this is a pretty big scenario. And we'll talk about the upcoming matchups in this next series. We'll talk more about this in tomorrow's show as well. But today's episode is not really sponsored by, but I want to go ahead and make sure you also listen to our friend Sully over at the Locked On MLB podcast. And he's on YouTube. We're on YouTube. So go ahead and help a brother out and go over to Locked On MLB on YouTube. Subscribe over there. Subscribe to Locked On Astros podcast. Keep on subscribing. Keep our numbers going up. Help Sully over there, and don't forget to listen to Apple, Odyssey, wherever you listen to your podcast. He is the encyclopedia of baseball. I know we know everything there is to know about the Astros, but he knows everything there is to know about all the other teams. So go listen to Sully over to Locked On MLB podcast, and let's go and talk about what happened in today's game. Then we'll address a little bit more about the Jake Odorrizi situation. Yeah. So I know that we were all excited about Jose Urquidy coming back, and in the first game, he did not look great. He only lasted, I want to say, I don't know off the top of my head, but I want to say it was only 4 innings, if that. In this game, he only lasted 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He was not sharp from what I understand. Christian Javier was warming up in the first inning because Christian Javier threw a lot of pitches in the first inning, and he just it seemed like the Mariners were figuring him out pretty early. To his credit, he kind of limited the damage. He only gave up the 2 earned runs in the first inning. So what did you see?
With Jose Urquidy, it just looks like a guy that hasn't pitched. I mean, he's just not stretched out. He's not there. He's not the Jose Urquidy that we saw in the playoffs that we know he can be in 2020. And I mean, he has the stuff. He just hasn't been out there. And this is a major league pitcher. He has got to go through more of a buildup in a major league routine before he actually really shows who he is. I think the staff is fine without him being full strength. Definitely see him as a piggyback type starter in the playoffs. I would not make him one of my top 4 starters in the playoffs. I would not supplant Luis Garcia over him. He's the only player that I would look at possibly doing that, or I guess Odorizzi. And that would be something we talk about. You know, he had like 70 pitches in the first few innings, and that's why he was pulled, right? I mean, the first inning, let's call it what it is. In the first inning, the first hit hits off third base. The second hit hits off of the pitching rubber. And then there's a third hit after that. There were a lot of like baseball type events that you can't help. I mean, not a Max Scherzer, not Sandy Koufax, not even go all the way back to Walter Johnson could have gotten around those first couple runs. Now, he got bases loaded and he limited the damage, so he got out of it. But the way the game started, it didn't seem like things were going to go their way. And of course, but as the game went on, they turned the course a little bit. They're like, okay, here's the Astros, they're coming back. But Urquidy, it wasn't that I wasn't impressed. It's kind of like, what are you supposed to expect from this guy? He's not going to hang the moon in his first few starts back because he was gone for so long.
He only had 2 rehab starts, so it's not like he had tons of time to get ready, and he's going to be a little rusty. So yeah, he is basically doing his rehab starts in front of I don't know what the attendance was on a day game in Houston.
It was 19,000 recorded, but I doubt 19,000 were in attendance. That's how many tickets were sold.
Right. Okay. So then following him was Christian Javier. While he did pitch 2 1/3 scoreless innings, he did walk 3 more batters.
He
And this
did, but he worked around him.
right,
But he worked around him. I'm telling you, Javier, if he's going to be in there, Eric, he needs to be a starter, or he needs to be in when it's clean, when it's 0. He doesn't need to be behind. He needs to be in there because he pitches better as a starter. Period.
you want to hear something that's really depressing about Christian Javier?
What's
In
that?
90 1/3 innings pitched this year, including today's game, he's walked 49 batters.
Yeah, because they took him out of the starter role.
Yeah.
What did he do last year? He nearly won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. And last year he had so this year I don't have the updated stats, but last year he had a 3.0 walks per 9 inning rate. This year he's pretty close to 5
Yeah.
walks per 9 inning rate. So it's 4.7. I don't know how much it would have gone up after today's game. I would say probably maybe 4.8 or something. So yeah, it's I know that a bullpen is a whole different ball game. He's done it before.
Completely.
Last year he did. Let's see. He pitched in 12 games. He started 10 games. So
Yeah.
he did pitch in 2 bullpen relief. So he
Yeah,
did.
but that's a big difference, Eric. I mean, he's in 2021 in the games he's been in 30 games, he's only started 9 of them.
Well, he's 31 now. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So 31. Right. So, I mean, he's only started in 9 of those 31 games. Last year of the 12 games, he started 10. So he went from starting 98% of the games he was in to starting less than 60% of the games that he's. So that change of role, he doesn't pitch the way he used to. He doesn't use that invisible a lot. He's going to his curveball, to his off speed stuff a lot. And but like you said, 3 walks, it's not great, but he worked around them. So 2 1/3. I mean, he didn't give up any runs. He definitely wasn't the hole in the bullpen for this game.
Brooks Raley came in, got a hold. He pitched. He had 2 strikeouts. He's still continuing to impress. I know
Brooks Raley is throwing really well right now.
Right.
I mean, he's kind of become their best relief pitcher outside of closing Ryan Presley.
Yeah. Then you have Yimi Garcia. He got a hold today, but he gave up 2 runs, and he's not looking good. He's been kind of I don't want to say he's been a disaster since he got here. He's pitched some good innings, but I believe when we got him, he had a 3.17 ERA off the top of my head. His ERA now is skyrocketed to 3.88. While that's still respectable, this guy was supposed to be a guy who's supposed to be saving Astros bullpen. Phil Maton is his ERA is 4.53. I believe it's come down a little bit since he's come to the Astros, but
I think it was 4.57 when he was with Cleveland. It wasn't that like it was higher, but in other words, his trend is going up. He has swing and miss stuff. He has, spin rate, all that stuff. It's
going down a little bit. So it went down a teeny bit. So not much.
But guys, y'all need to find a girl who's going to love you like the Astros do and give you like second and third chances. That's what you need to do because they love Maton.
Yeah. Kendall Graveman had a good game today, but Ryan Presley, he hasn't had a good past 2 games. I know the game before he gave up a run, and then today he gave up the 3 runs, and it was not it hasn't been a good series for Ryan Presley. I don't know if he's still,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if he's still dealing with the sore armness. I don't know if it's like you said, he doesn't have the when he's not in a non-closing situation. It can't be that. I mean, it really can't be that. He's been a setup guy in the past, so he's been in his roles in the past.
Yeah,
and he's not a Ken Giles. He's not that type of person. So I don't think that's a situation, and it just. He's kind of struggling right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he doesn't have the right mattress or something. So talk about molecule mattress.
Okay, so can you believe this? A Pro Bowl quarterback, an Olympic swimmer, and a national women's soccer star, they all use the same mattress. That's right. Let me explain. There are these elite mattresses for elite athletes, and they're called molecule mattress. When I tell you it's an elite mattress, you probably think, oh my gosh, it's out of my price range. Well, it's not. Everybody's that using it is calling it their best sleep ever. When you order one, you will not be upset because Molecule Sleep Scientists literally created the world's perfect mattress. It's unlike any other mattress in a box. It's cool to the touch, not like other foam mattresses. It has 6 times the airflow of an old mattress, so it keeps me cool all night long if I'm in my Molecule mattress. It has zone reflex layers and adjust with every whim that I go, every weird sleep position, and it's antimicrobial. Molecule mattress, well, Molecule mattress is how elite athletes sleep. Sleep on your Molecule mattress today. Hold on. Visit onmolecule.com and save 20% with promo code locked on. Again, 20% with promo code locked on molecule.com.
All right. So while you're sleeping on your new mattress, how about they turn on the Astros game and watch them on DirecTV? Tell them about that.
Okay. DirecTV. It is the place where you get all your TV together. You've got one device, you catch the game live, another device that streams your favorite shows. You're watching sports highlights on your phone. You get your buddies, best friends, girlfriends, cousins, dogs, roommates log in for the good stuff. Well, don't worry about that because now there's a simple way. You can break it down. You don't have to juggle remotes. You don't have to go to all these different places. Get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no more need to get another device ever again. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more about DirecTV.com. That's DirecTV.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
Thoughts by Dusty.
The guys weren't sharp today that were ordinarily sharp. And this is Dusty Baker on Jose Urquidy. He didn't have the same sharpness on his breaking ball. And also, this is, we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but this is Dusty Baker on Jake Odorrizi. We talked about it like men. I want all these guys to go as deep as they can in the game. But as a manager, you're full of tough decisions. I have to do what I think is best for the team. I can't blame him for wanting to go more. I want him to go more.
So before we get into the Jake Odorrizi thing, I think we need to save that for the last segment and talk about the home runs today. Because how great was it, Eric, to see Marwin Gonzalez hit a home run today? I mean, that 2-run home run was phenomenal. And then Altuve, and you mentioned 2 players that went back to back or hit home runs in the same game. Haven't done it in a while.
Back-to-back games, but yeah.
Right, back-to-back games. Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, so
and Marwin Gonzalez hit his first home run with the Houston Astros since I have it somewhere on here. I know it's 2018. But I have the exact date on here. Where is it? This is Marwin Gonzalez's first home run with the Astros since September 28th, 2018.
Wow. Okay.
That's a long time. And he knew it was gone. That's what
that was a no doubter. Yeah, that was a great. I mean, he kept his hands in, he pulled it. It was a great home run. And this is one of those games, Eric, you hate to lose. And this is one of those games that is going to really bother the relief pitchers because the hitters basically created a situation where you should have won that game.
Right.
Period.
And here's some more thoughts for Dusty about the relievers. He said, I'm not worried. They're working a lot. That's the thing. We need a couple of deep games to give these guys a rest. Well, why don't you let Odorizzi go deeper? Sorry, I digress.
But you had a game the day before where you only used one reliever, so they had a day off, and they have a day off on Thursday. So I get
going
that.
Back to Dusty. It's, sometimes one day off isn't enough to necessarily rebound. We're going into a stretch where we're going to play a lot of consecutive games. They're going to be working properly a lot. So we need to get some innings out of our starters. So, hey, Dusty, how about you let Odorizzi go deeper into games?
And this is something that I know when you compare baseball from when I was growing up or when other people were growing up to now, and the age of the specialized pitcher and the age of the relief pitcher and the relief roles and the left-handers and right-handers. I know that's been somewhat decimated by the 3 batter minimum, which I think is more negative than positive effect on baseball overall. But these athletes have been trained for this, where in the past they could endure. Like, you didn't hear a whole lot of chatter or talk about relief pitchers being sore or being tired or we got to rest them. They just went out and pitched and they just balled out. And
Right.
it was a different time because their bodies were conditioned to that. I don't think you can ever go back to the way it was, but man, sometimes I miss old school baseball, hard nosed pitching, relief pitching, where you had one or two guys come in, you had the starter, you had the closer when that kind of came in. But to me, pitchers seem to last longer back then. I don't know. I don't have the stats on that, but sometimes I don't like this specialized era. I know everybody's going to probably thrash me on that, but I really don't care. I think athletes are conditioned to be weak. I think athletes are conditioned to not go as long. And they're like, oh, it's a 162 game season. It's always been 160 something games.
Right.
Like, what's changed? And we've got better training. We've got better nutrition. We've got better athletes, but yet we don't have as much endurance. We can't go as long. That's always bothered me, to be honest.
So this is what's this is kind of the inner thoughts of Dusty when he's bringing in relievers. So we brought in Matan because he has been historically good against lefties. The kid Kelnick hasn't hit a breaking ball this whole series. And Matan hung a breaking ball. He left one up and over the plate. The same thing with Press. Like I said, the guys weren't sharp today and are ordinarily sharp. Taylor left one up at a breaking ball to Crawford. It's a little bit disheartening because they don't foul them back. They don't miss them. They don't pop them up. You don't even do that in a home run derby when you know what's coming. We just went through a couple of bad periods here.
When you know what's coming, what is he alluding to? I'm joking.
Oh, speaking of which, in
Yeah,
that one game, I forget which game it was. There's all that whistling at Minute Park. That was so annoying. It was so loud at home. I can imagine how it was at Minute Park. I think it was I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday's game. It was one of those two games. There was somebody whistling very loud.
I just get annoyed by all the woos. I'm so tired of
I
that.
know I put that on Twitter, and Ben DeBose was like, "Yeah, it's those Mariners cheating." I think it was Tuesday's game because that's when they came back and tied the game, but then the Astros came back and eventually won the
So,
game.
so speaking of, can I share the question that Dusty was asked before the game?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So Dusty he was in the dugout and reporters were around. I believe Big Sarge Media put this up on Twitter. Dusty Baker was asked this exact quote. How much do you have to prepare for guys stealing your signs if you have to be not paranoid and be prepared for everything that's going on? Dusty Baker looked at him, tilted his head, and said, I thought that was illegal, man. It was great. And the reporter said, well, there are a lot of things that are illegal, but he just had this Cheshire grin like you're really going to ask me that? Like, that's illegal. Now, how are you going to step sideways on? It was a great Dusty moment. I was like, good job. Way to embrace that, because that was a little pot shot from the reporter. I'm not sure who the reporter was. I have a guess who it was, but I don't want to put a name out there. I think it's a Houston guy, but anyways, it was just funny. Dusty's like, man, I thought that was illegal. So that's entertaining, and I think that is one thing that Dusty has provided. It has provided some levity there.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy how this whole situation has evolved from Dusty coming in as just kind of a guy to kind of handle the whole team scenario, and now he's kind of come in as somebody who's trying to manage a team that's the second best probability to go to the World Series this year. So you're looking good there, Brett. So anyway, so you know what else is looking good? I think knowing
these guns. Oh, sorry.
No, not those guns, but knowing who you're betting for. So let's talk about betonline.ag.
That's true. It's that time of year, man. And as we're turning to football, teams are back in the gridiron to start the football season. Who cares if the Texans don't even have a kicker opening day or opening week? But we've got the number one place to bet with all your sports, pro and college football action. Get all the updated odds, props, and contests, including online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest, and that's the world's largest 200,000 NFL Survivor contest. Open now at BetOnline. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% welcome bonus. That's right. Be sure to take advantage of their opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th game. That's right. If you're listening on Thursday, the game tonight between the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys, if you lose, your wager will be refunded up to $25 for new customers only when signing up and using promo code NFL15. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports, from football, basketball, boxing, and right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait, but take advantage of all the great offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Use a promo code Locked On.
Unfortunately, I have this cast on right now and I can't drive right now. But if I had a car right now, I would go to rockauto.com to get all the parts I need. So talk about rockauto.com.
That was a great audio visual. There you go. Well, with the ever increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain store to have all the parts that you need. Why endure pointless and seemingly intimidating questions like, "Oh, do you have an Odyssey LX or EX?" And wait for the person behind the counter to look up their derpy computer and try to find parts that that they really don't have. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30, 50, sometimes even 100% more on the parts that you would get at a chain store or dealership when you just go to Rock Auto? Plus, they're family owned. They've been doing it for 20 years. Why not go to them? Prices are reliably low and for every customer. They have everything you need, from brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, even new carpet. That's right. Go explore their easy-to-use website today and find the solution to your auto part needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Right, Locked On in their "How Did You Hear About Us" box so that they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliable low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com.
I think that we jumped aboard the Jake Myers train too soon. And
Nah,
he was
he's
0
still
for
Rake
4
Myers.
tonight with 3 strikeouts with 6 runners left on base. So today,
Hey, you know what, dude? Dude, it's baseball. He's not going to be perfect, man.
I'm kidding.
Hey,
But
hey,
how about Kyle Tucker's triple today? That triple
dude.
hit off of the roof, and basically the outfielder had no idea where it was going. It hit off the roof, and basically hit almost to the right field foul territory, and that was basically awesome. And it was cool. It was amazing. I haven't seen something like that actually stayed fair in that situation.
Yeah. I've seen Bagwell hit the metal, hit the green steel beams,
Yeah,
and it go foul, and they take like 10 minutes to decide whether it's a fair or foul ball.
right.
But yeah, man, Tuck in the outfield, looking good. I mean, dude,
Correa another 2 hits.
did you see the fly ball that he let drop in front of him, and he turned it around and threw out JP Crawford? JP Crawford was on first, and whoever hits behind JP Crawford, I don't have the lineup right in front of me, pops the ball up to right field. And instead of making a calculated effort to dive for the ball, he stops before the ball bounces. He grabs it. He does a full 360, fires it to second, because Crawford didn't run the whole way because he thought he was going to catch it. And Altuve basically got him out, put his foot on the bag. I mean, dug the ball out of the dirt. It was a phenomenal bang play from Tucker to Altuve. This team's they are very good at defense, Eric. They are very good at defense, and we just hope that these blunders and these relief pitcher things don't come up in the playoffs.
And to close out the kind of offense for today, I know they got 5 runs on 10 hits. Normally that would be enough for the Astros, but they gave up, the pitching gave up 8 runs. But Bregman hit that home run as a pinch hitter, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so I don't want to drag this Jake Odorrizi thing to death, but I do want to kind of address some things that were talked about today. And so I know that Jake Odorrizi came out today, and he was a little bit more calm today. And so So we already kind of talked about it. So this is what Dusty Baker said a little bit more. He said, I think we already kind of said part of this, but he said it went well. Communication is the key. You talk about it as men. You get it out. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's on my mind, whatever's on Strawmeat's mind. A lot of time, I see things that can make you closer as a team, like a family. So, and then Dusty said this as well. I'm trying to help him get over this hump. You got to move on. So that's Dusty's kind of insight on this. And so this is Odorizzi said before Wednesday's game. He said, you're going to go through points like this and be able to be adults, have conversations about it. That's the most important thing. It's not going to affect anything for me moving forward. Not going to affect anything for them moving forward. It's just something that people fight sometimes. You talk about it, move forward, and that's about it. It's a non-issue. I said what I said. I stand by what I said, and we talked about it. I feel perfectly fine today. We got to talk about it. That's what adults do. We handle like man, and I said what I needed to say, and we all listened. We all talked. I thought about some stuff. It's all good. I hold no ill will or anything moving forward.
Yeah, so I think though initially the way he came out, Eric, I don't know that I agreed with his approach, because he did start answering the questions and then abruptly just said, I'm done answering questions, and walked out.
Right.
Initially, I think that was just a bad look. There's a bad knee-jerk reaction. I can't say that I would have reacted any more honorably. But he is a professional. He gets paid to do a job, and he feels like he was not able to complete his job, that his employer or his bosses were like, no, you cannot go. And when you look at the numbers, Eric, it's pretty, spotlights on that third time through, 390 or 395 batting average against. I mean, when he gets the third time through the lineup, he has not done well, and this team has had a hard time holding on to leads. And at the time, if I remember correctly, they didn't have the lead, and so they were worried about going into a bigger hole against the Mariners. And what I do like is that the 24 hours later, things have subsided.
Yeah.
See, Odorizzi isn't a big ego guy. He doesn't come across as a guy that when he gets his feelings hurt, he takes it out and he just rides that horse. He doesn't do that. And at the end of the day, like he and Dusty said, we're men. We're going to move on. We're going to discuss it. And that's what great teams do.
Right.
Who knows? This may be something that turns around Odorizzi. This may be something that over these next couple of starts, when you see him, that you see a different laser focus Odorizzi than before. So the blessing could be in the curse. Sometimes conflict comes about and it's very healthy and it helps.
Yeah. So Odorizzi continues. He says, we talked about it and we're all in agreement. If it dictates it, it dictates it. If being pulled after 5 innings, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Our job is to win ball games, and the best way to do that is however they decide it's going to be. But if you ask any starting pitcher, if you think 5 innings is doing your job and you're happy with that, there's the problem with that. I compete as hard as anybody out there. I'm sure people didn't like my comments, but as a competitor, that's what you want. And he basically was just coming out and saying he'd rather them not be so strict with the limiting him to the third time through the order. And like you kind of alluded to, I know you kind of mentioned the batting average, but the slugging percentage with the first time through the order is 331. Second time through the order is 416. Third time through the order is 930. On base percentage, first time is 278. Second time is 301. Third time is 435. And then if you look at batting average, first time is 199. Second time is 235. Third time is 395. Now, if I'm Jake Odorrizi, here's my defense, and I'm playing a devil's advocate here.
Okay.
The first time in order, you have 172 plate appearances. Second time through the order, you have 164 plate appearances. Third time through the order, you only have 46 plate appearances. If I'm Jake Odorrizi, you have not given me enough chances. And the chances you may have given me, Dusty, was earlier in the season when I may not have been ready. I'm ready now. Martin Maldonado has fixed me, dude. I can do it now. Get me the chance. I can do it now.
Oh wow, you just became Jake Odorrizi. Wow, that was very. You should go to Broadway next. That was very impassioned. I like it. Look at you, Eric the Shakespeare Huysman. There. No, that was. That's an excellent point. But if the only sample size I have is 46 at bats, and it's that much of a difference, it's over 100 points difference, almost 150 points higher, and the slugging percentage is almost half a like 500 points higher. That's huge. It shouldn't be that much in 46. It should not. Maybe it jumps 20-30%, because from 172 and you go to 164, that's fewer. It still went up. It still went up almost 100 points.
You can see where he's coming from.
No, I understand where he's coming from, but I
James Click
understand.
even came out and said it totally understands. That's what he admires about this kid. He's not pissed off that Jake Odorrizi came out and said all this. He said, "I rather him be." He admires that the competitive side came out and is saying this.
No, right. And I'm not necessarily faulting Odorizzi. I think it's good that he said something. I know I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Odorizzi, we've kind of ridden him really hard at first. We were very critical. Then he turned it around. We were like, hey, and then we recognized Castro, Maldonado. Take Castro out of the picture. Maldonado and Odorizzi seem to be a winning combination. But then, oh wow, look, they still have a short leash. And so Odorizzi, to me, has something to prove. And it's like Dusty said, you just got to be patient.
Right.
You've got to trust us. And sometimes the coach or the manager makes a call that the player doesn't like.
Right.
And dude, that's just life. There's nothing wrong with what he said. I just don't know that I would have come out in the media and said it that night when I knew that my emotions were high. That's why typically if you tell someone, hey, if you have a complaint, wait 24 hours to send me an email, or wait 24 hours to send me a text, because that's usually when you say things.
after
Yeah,
that game.
Exactly.
So here's James Click about his. He came on Sports Talk 790 today, and he said, "I understand his frustration. It shows what a competitor he is. You want guys like this on your team. You want guys who want the ball. I did not talk to him about it after the game, and I don't want to comment about this, but so this was before they've had the conversation. So I'm sure they've had conversations with him about this since then. But so I don't think that the Astros are mad at him for wanting the ball. Like you said, maybe they could have done this behind closed doors, but I think Odorizzi felt like this was his only chance for him to be heard. And maybe he's expressed this before, and he may have felt like he wasn't being heard. So maybe Dusty needs to practice saying, what I hear you saying, Jake, is that you want to go longer than 5 innings. So maybe that's what Dusty Baker needs to work on, like listening skills or something. So anyway, so we'll talk more about the Angel series. What I do know is that Shohei Ohtani will be facing the Astros on Friday night. So that'll be interesting matchup. So that'll be awesome. So
I get to see them shell Ohtani. Yay.
So yeah, that'll be awesome game. So other than that, we'll talk about that matchup on tomorrow's show. And unfortunately, you're not going to sweep every series, and you still won this series. And at this point in the year, that's all you can ask for. The Astros still have a 5.5 game lead over the Seattle Mariners. The A's are, I don't know what's going on with their score, if they're playing tonight or not, but all you can do is control your fate right now. You got to keep on winning and control your destiny. So guys, keep on subscribing to Locked On Astros podcast on YouTube, and keep on liking our podcast, and make sure you listen to Locked On Bets podcast and your boy Q and Lee Sterling. And they have all the betting news that you can need, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, whatever you need. They got the news for you, especially with the football season starting up. Listen to Locked On Bets podcast, and keep on subscribing to us on YouTube, and listen to us on audio version, which includes Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Listen to Locked On Astros podcast, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Go Stros.